Timeless reading for Virgo, starting with the cards Wisdom, Maturity, and Adulthood. And adulthood can come up in a dry or even negative way, but in your case, I feel it's rather positive because it's next to wisdom and maturity, which is a positive thing. I feel like whether you are physically getting older or whether you are still young and you used to be afraid of getting older, there is a lot of peace with that. Like, even when you are still very young, you can already see that your brain is changing, your mind is changing, and you can compare yourself to others in your age and realize you are much more mature than them or much more responsible, not in an unhealthy and exaggerated way. And I feel like there's a lot of satisfaction with that. It doesn't matter how old you are. You could also be 90 and look back at when you were 20 and realize, oh my God, when I was 20, I was so much mature already than other people in their 20s. Like, there is some kind of realization about your own wisdom and maturity, and the way you are dealing with your adult responsibilities that makes you feel very self-satisfied in a not egoic or negative way. It feels very humble and very just calm. There is no arrogance or pride in here. It's just like some kind of relief, like, oh my God, I'm glad I have this kind of wisdom and maturity. And I also feel like there is a lot of, I don't know if it's joy, but I feel like there's someone here taking pleasure or starting to take pleasure in some kind of adult responsibilities in their job, in their work. There is a certain ease that is either already there or that you will start to develop soon in something that you are doing in your life, whether it is school or studying, or if it is work or whatever it is, however old you are. Because, you know, in this adulthood picture, it's actually drawn in a not so nice way. Like, outside there's sunshine, but you can't go outside. You have to do all this paperwork, and there's the alarm clock already, you know, putting you under pressure. And but I don't get that negative vibe from this card today. I feel like you might even enjoy your paperwork, boring paperwork. Like, there is some kind of pleasure here. In the second row, we have manipulation, growth, and projection. I need some moments for this one. With the manipulation card, I immediately got two things, like a negative and a positive aspect. The positive aspect is just confirming this adulthood card, taking pleasure in paperwork or cleaning, putting order into files, papers, households, or I don't know, cleaning the office. Like, you're enjoying something that you're doing here that seems to be boring for others, but somehow it makes you feel grounded and stable doing these tasks. And if it doesn't, then you will find this kind of pleasure here. For some of you, maybe if you're coming out of a depressive phase, a very dark phase, your work might help you. Others might change their job, and you might find that if you have been feeling very dark and clouded, that your focus will improve. And if you are focused on a lot of negative emotions, you will be able to deal with them very well while doing these tasks. Like, your head will become very free doing this paperwork, doing this cleaning work. It will make you feel very stable. And yeah, maybe you've been feeling like you were free falling and falling and falling into a certain kind of darkness. But there is a task here coming towards you that will catch you up and lift you up again. Like it will make you feel like there is some purpose in your life. And it's okay. Before I get into the growth card, let me also get into the negative aspect of the manipulation card. Even though I feel this is very much in the background and something that you are already aware of, and that is slowly becoming your past. You might still feel like it is your present, but it will soon become your past. And I feel like it is about one or several specific people. For those of you who are having a change in their job, maybe you had a very manipulative boss or team members, colleagues, and you are changing that and you are getting out of this energy of being manipulated. Or if it's in a private situation, you can expect that life will drag you out of this situation. Or you have already left a very manipulative person behind, but you still feel their, they are confusing our energy system a lot. So sometimes even if we cut someone out of our life externally, we are still energetically very connected and we keep thinking about them, reflecting or being angry or being scared to meet this person. All these confused feelings, they can linger on for years after cutting someone out physically. But I feel like you will soon start to realize that energetically this is soon fading out. And then you will be completely soaked up in your tasks here. And with this growth card, I feel like this is you having this realization that I mentioned earlier, that actually you have grown a lot as a human being internally, psychologically. Even if you are just 20 years old, you can look back when you were 19 years old and realize that during the last 12 months, you have learned a lot as a human being. Or if you are 90 years old, you can also look back and realize how wise you have become, how much you have changed during your life, and how difficult sometimes your life was and how painful, but you always managed to get through it. So there is something here that will make you just feel satisfied with yourself, and that will bring a lot of ease to your life. So there is something about the realization of the growth that you have already gone through, but there's also new growth coming in here. But I also feel very strongly I'm not allowed to tell you a lot about it. But if this is a change in your career, even if it's just a very simple job or a very, you don't have to be a manager or a pop star, but there is, with this job, not only your internal and psychological and emotional growth will come or increase, there is also something growing for you externally. It could be financially, or maybe this new job will bring in a new friend circle, or you will meet someone romantically. But I also feel it will take several months until you might feel this growth coming towards you and might not be able to explain it to yourself. It's just a shift in energy, but it might take a few months until it really blossoms, until it becomes very obvious to you in your life, or several weeks. But I feel like I should not go into much detail here, because it's on one hand a surprise, and on the other hand you should not look forward to something externally too much, because I feel like this reading is very focused on your internal growth and on your wisdom and maturity and your understanding in life as a human being. So if you focus too much on happy things, pleasant things happening to you on the outside, it might distract you from your internal growth. So, and yeah, I feel like you will be able to focus, and you really just will get sucked into your work in a positive way. But you will not use this work to distract yourself from painful emotions. Like, it will just make you feel very grounded. And while you are working during your job, if something negative comes up or something disturbing comes up, you will be able to grab it and look at it and let it work through your system, and then you can release it. But you will not suppress it. So this feels actually, literally, very mature what you are doing here. The projection card made me wonder. This might be, despite all maturity and wisdom, something that, an issue that might come up again. Something that might trigger you for a brief moment. It might, I'm suddenly getting, it might be something from the past that comes up while you are busy with some paperwork or something, or learning something new, and then you might suddenly have this memory flying in, and it might trigger you, like of a situation where someone blamed you for something that you did never do, when someone projected something onto you, and you might feel a very sharp pain, and then you will maybe want to push it away or suppress it. But I feel like this is very important for you. If this moment comes at your work when you are stable and busy, and then you are suddenly remembering a situation, maybe with an ex-partner or friend or colleague or just a stranger on the street, like someone really hurting you for no reason and projecting something terrible onto you that you never said, never thought, never did. But you took on that guilt somehow and felt ashamed, even though this person was the one projecting it onto you. This is very, very painful, and it's very, very complex, but you are supposed to have a certain understanding. And I just feel like this card is popping up out of... It felt a lot out of context here in your reading, but I feel like I should just remind you, when this moment comes, when this memory comes up, don't push it away. Try to bear it somehow. You might even have a heavy physical reaction to it when this memory comes. Okay, some lifestyle and health cards for you. Hiking, therapy, apple, liver, stop smoking, tea, skin, kidney, and B12. I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching.